I'm sinking more and more money into this free table. Hi, I'm Letitia. I just bought my first home and I am DIYing my way through my own home renovations and home decor. So be sure to like and subscribe to this video so that you can be up to date for any new DIY that comes up. So I was doing my usual prowl on Facebook Marketplace and Buns, which is a bartering app that I follow, when someone posted this huge conference table that was free. I jumped on the opportunity so quickly because in my experience, these conference tables usually go for $150 to $300. And so began my unexpectedly expensive DIY for a fluted dining table slash work table. This is a super popular trend right now. The table is 10 feet long, so I had to rent a van from Home Depot, which after gas and tax, I think it was about $80. The plan for this is to be a work table for my studio basement downstairs. So the tabletop was already painted with orange chalk paint, and I believe the edges and the table legs were painted black. I think it's either MDF or a laminate, though at this point it's so well loved with a lot of gum stuck underneath that I'm not too sure. I would have loved to have a pine tabletop to match the fluting, but since it's not a solid wood tabletop, I just had to work with what I had. So I decided to paint it white, which is a great basic surface for me to film off of anyways. It'll be great to work on large projects without having to work off of the floor. Now, if this is going to be a work table, it needs to be painted with really good durability. So I started by sanding down the existing paint. Thankfully, it wasn't too thick. I put 2 coats of primer on the tabletop using high quality rollers. We bought these to paint the house and make sure that we wash them well after each use, and they have seriously paid their dues. We reuse them all the time. The application is always smooth, and for a tabletop, that's super important. You can see the difference between 1 versus 2 coats of primer. After drying overnight outside, which had some little visitors walking across it, I sanded lightly for the next step. For a surface that will constantly be scuffed up and possibly scratched, I'm using enamel paint. It'll create a shell-like barrier compared to latex paint. The table was previously painted latex, and as I was sanding it, you can see it rolling off like eraser lint. I did 2 very thin coats and allowed it to cure for a couple of days. And then it was time to start the fluting. There is currently a big lumber shortage nationwide. I went to the local lumber store and talked to the shop owner, and she was saying that prices are doubling and tripling and people are grabbing wood like left, right, and center. I was looking for 1-inch half moon rounds, usually used as floor finishing. The good thing is that the store hadn't marked them up yet when I went to buy them, and I got them for the original price at $6.99 per piece. I thought I needed 20, but they only had 15. And I cleared out their inventory and bought them all. And if you know Letitia, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that math will always create an obstacle in one of my DIYs. So knowing my math skills, I was very careful with cutting the pine. I marked the 90-degree angle on the table leg and measured with 28 inches with a 1/16 allowance, double checking all of my markings.
So like put
Put it there.
Oh, wow.
Then you need to flick this backwards.
Okay.
That's the safety.
So close to me.
No, you're fine. It's a dart.
Oh.
Okay.
Then I cut each dowel at the first marking before measuring again and cutting again. This leaves me with a stack of 12-inch scraps that I'll keep for the future. I lightly sanded the ends to finish and brought them in for assembly. I just taped this off just to see and confirm my measurements. This time, before I bought any of the molding, I double-checked with Steven. And the math question was, if Letitia has 2 table legs measuring 28 inches in height and 60 inches in circumference, how many 8-foot, 1-inch wide dowels will she need? And we confirmed 20 dowels. Because the lumberyard only had 15, I was like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe since I have a lot of excess short ones, I'll just, I'll make do with what I have. I find out I needed 20 dowels for one table leg, but I'm sinking more and more money into this free table. After all this, if I were to buy another 20 dowels, 25 dowels, this table would cost me about $300 total. Either I wait a year to finish this, maybe I'll do half of each table and then I'll finish it off next year when there is no lumber shortage. So mathematical blunder aside, fluting is actually very easy. As long as you're regularly checking that it's 90 degrees and tying up your hair, it's easy peasy.
I got construction adhesive in my hair. Oh no. Oh no.
Should I put gook on? I would say my hair is even healthier because I just drenched it in olive oil. Always tie your hair up. So glue blunder aside, fluting is very simple. There will be a couple of pieces that are slightly warped, so unless your table leg is painted neon, it won't be a problem if you have a bit of table showing through. I used a trivet underneath to level out all the fluting underneath so that it's a crisp, clean line.
It looks so good.
Until you get to the other side. To finish off the table, I hand sanded any little bumps before applying a clear water-based finish. I applied 2 coats, which gave me a semi-gloss finish. Conference tables are the perfect affordable item to upcycle right now. If you're looking for an affordable dining table, they often come oval or circle and have pillar legs, which is pretty much the same shape as dining tables that are very popular in style right now. So far, with half the legs done, this project has costed me about $200, so I'm anticipating it to overall be just over $300 when I'm done. It is a pricey DIY, but it's a very affordable dining table that is very aesthetic right now. And I was thinking that I could even switch it up and change the tabletop and cut a big piece of pine. Either turn it into 2 dining tables or turn it into a desk. I think by following all the proper steps and taking time to actually make sure this is painted, this tabletop will last a very long time. If you want to see more DIY content, you can find me on all social at Letitia Q, including Instagram and TikTok. If you can, please like the video down below, and I will see you in the next DIY. Bye!